To add a text box to a Google Drawing, there's two different ways to go about it. The first thing you can do is to click the text box icon right here on the menu bar. You can see when I mouse over it, it says text box. It's a box with a T in it. If you click on that, then when you come down onto your canvas with your cursor, you drag and drop, or I should say click and drag the size you want the box to be. And you'll see now that the cursor is there. So if I start typing, you can see what I typed. Um, when you are making a text box, one thing you want to think about is the size of the font and make sure that you're picking a font that is clear and easy to read. Um, you can pick a font that goes with the topic or the project that you're doing. Just make sure that people will be able to read your information. So right down here is where you click to choose which font when you have your text highlighted, and over here is where you choose the size you want. Or you can use any of these buttons like bold, italic, underline, and this here lets you choose the color of the text. Again, keep in mind being able to read the color and the text. The other option back here, highlight, is it goes around the text. So you can see I added a yellow highlight. So now it's almost like you've drawn on it with a yellow highlighter. All right, so that is one way to add a text box using the button right there. The other way to add a text box is to say insert. And there's text box, whoops, as the second option. It has that same icon for consistency. So come down and drag and drop. Now, sometimes kids will click somewhere else and then they can't figure out where their text box went. If you click in the approximate area, it'll show up again. It just doesn't have any text in it yet, so that's why you can't see it when you click out of there. Double clicking will mean that you have your cursor back in that text box and you can type again. Um, Now, once you're at a point with your project that you have all of the content in, you can do some of that frosting or fancy additions to your project. And so up here, when you have your text box selected, you can pick fill color to say what color you want in the background. Um, right now I have it solid. Gradient is here, and you can actually go in and customize a gradient to be certain colors together that you want. If you come here, this one is border. So the border of your text box, I'm going to click black. And then you can also, it says border weight, which is another way of saying the thickness. So I just made that thicker. And you can choose actually to have a pattern to the border as well. So that's a lot of frosting for that. Now you can see that now that I don't have that text box highlighted anymore, those frosting options aren't there. So you have to have clicked on the text box to be able to see all of the customization options for your text box. Oops. Accidentally clicked something I didn't mean to. I'm sure that's happened to you. All right, the one last thing I wanted to show you was, remember, this handle right up here means that you can tip and turn and angle your, in this case, your text box, or you can use that on images or other things, other shapes in your project.